Welcome, race fans, to another edition of American Dirt Track Racing. I'm Johnny Strasser, and joining me here in the tower at the sensational Silver Springs Speedway, Randy Satzler. Welcome to Silver Springs, Randy.
It's good to be here, John.
Well, we've got a beautiful afternoon on hand here for the season opener at the Super Silver Springs Speedway. We have a lot of the Super Sportsman cars down in the pit area. We'll only be seeing the Super Sportsman division this afternoon, as the other divisions here at Silver Springs will merely be running a bug day after the races this afternoon.
That's very true, John, and we do have quite a field of Super Sportsmen. Here it is on Saturday afternoon, the big opening event of the 1987 racing season. Somewhere between 30 and 35 cars are on hand, and I noticed that a lot of teams here actually have two machines for their driver. In fact, the number A1 has 3 cars.
AD Live with 3 cars in his racing stable, so it should be an interesting afternoon here at the Silver Springs Speedway. We had Ken Stahl scheduled to work this show, but Ken not able to make it here this afternoon, so you and I will be handling all the commentary, the exciting side-by-side racing from up here in the booth. And we have our cameraman down in the pit area, Roger Freed. He'll be trying to capture some of that up-close side-by-side action from down at track level.
One thing I have noticed about this speedway, I've been here before, but from this view it looks like the corners are really quite tight, so I would imagine the cars would have to run a great deal of stagger in order to make that quick left-hand turn to go back the opposite direction.
That's for sure. Well, the Kreitzer run operation here at the Silver Springs Speedway, very hospitable to us this afternoon, this actually being our first time here at the Silver Springs Speedway, so we thank them for their hospitality, and we'll be back with the running of the first heat and the 1987 season opener here at the Silver Springs Speedway. Okay, we're back in here at the sensational Silver Springs Speedway. I'm Johnny Strasser for Strasser Video Productions, along with Randy Satzler joining me in the booth here today. We'll be covering all the commentary, all the lap-by-lap action from up here on the tower, and we also have a camera located down in the pit area. Our cameraman down there, Roger Freed, and our main #1 camera person here in the tower, Patty Strasser, this afternoon. Well, Randy, we're just about set to go here with today's first heat race.
Okay, and we'll get down over the first heat lineup. Starting on the pole in car number 71 is Gary Wolford from Brock, Pennsylvania, and alongside him in car number 69 from Carlisle, Larry Jackson.
Second row, starting in that third starting spot in the number A1. This is the A1 Automotive car. Driver AD Live from out of Hummelstown, PA. And alongside him, the number 07, the Bill Tanger race car. Driver Smokey Snellbaker out of Dover, PA.
Okay, row number 3 on the inside. In that fifth starting position in car number 12 out of Greencastle, Danny Hager. And alongside him in car number 4 from Enola, John Stoner.
Making up the fourth row inside in that seventh starting position in car number 20 will be Vance Yinger out of Middletown, Pennsylvania, and alongside him, the number 5B in that eighth starting position will be Brad Beecher in the number 5B out of Enola, PA.
Okay, and bringing up the rear in that ninth and final starting position in car number 55 is Rich Myers from Duncannon. So 9 starters, and there's a possibility we could have another car or 2 entered in this event. I noticed there were a few cars that came in later. We were able to add a few of them, but we'll play it by ear here if anybody else comes out.
Okay, we right now have 9 cars on the speedway. They'll be going 10 laps the distance here, Randy. They'll be vying for probably 5 qualifying positions, I would assume. They'll take 15 qualifiers from the heat races, add 5 more or 4 more, and we'll have our 24 car field for the feature event this afternoon. This being the 1987 season opener here at the sensational Silver Springs Speedway, just really outside Harrisburg, located on the Carlisle Pike here between Carlisle and Harrisburg.
I'll tell you, the location is absolutely perfect. There's a great deal of population in this area. You're talking a lot of people, probably within about a 40, 50-mile radius, who can come to this track. Now, today it looks like the crowd is pretty good for an opener.
Yeah, it's a real good turnout here this afternoon. The sun's out. The temperatures aren't really that unpleasant. As long as the wind doesn't kick up too much, I think the people will be quite comfortable here this afternoon at Silver Spring Speedway. You know, Randy, something very interesting about the Silver Spring Speedway is it's really the home base for the Super Sportsman cars. The cars are really indigenous to this particular speedway. They do run the Strode's Point Series at all the bigger tracks, like, for instance, Williams Grove and Port Royal. But right here is where they call home. We got a good field here today. About 30 to 31 cars on hand.
Yeah, it's a very good field, and the cars now are pacing themselves through turns 3 and 4. Our flagman now signals that we're going to go in 1 lap from now. So first race of the year, I'm sure everybody who is a staunch supporter of the Sportsman division is really glad to see this happening, because you know what it's like. You're sitting around for 4 or 5 months, nothing to do. Here we go, we're ready to go racing.
They built a new press box here at the Silver Spring Speedway. A very, very nice job. They really have us in some decent facilities here at Silver Spring. A lot of places we go, we really have to wing it, but we're really in great shape here at Silver Springs.
And we really appreciate the assistance we've had from
Alan Kreitzer,
yep,
the promoter and owner here at Silver Springs. We're just about set to go. Green flag waves, here they come down the front stretch, and it's going to be Gary Wolford in the number 71, your leader.
Okay, Larry Jackson runs in at second position, and following him in the number 1A is Live. Now Jackson way up high on the outside. He loses a few positions. Now he battles with Smokey Snellbaker back in that 4th spot.
Right there you see the top 4 cars. Gary Wolford, your leader. AD Live runs second. Then it's the number 12. Danny Hager running in that 3rd spot, followed by the 69 of Larry Jackson and the 07 of Snellbaker.
Okay, now we have a lead change now as AD Live has taken the lead into car number A1.
AD Live now will bring him off turn number 4. He'll be your new leader. Gary Wolford hasn't given up yet, Randy. He still runs in there. Following AD Live through turns 1 and 2 now. Watch out for Jackson.
Okay, here comes Jackson on the inside. Larry Jackson now challenging for that 2nd position as they head into turn number 3. It's Jackson now, and he'll try to chase down the number 1A of AD Live.
Gary Wolford looks like he may be having a slight handling problem, Randy, because that car is lifting quite a bit as he comes out of the turn.
Okay, we'll watch them now as they head into turn number 3. AD Live, followed by the 69 of Larry Jackson. Here comes Wolford on the inside. We have another position change. Wolford now runs second. And Danny Hager continues to run in that 4th position, followed by the number 20 of Vance Yinger and the 07 of Smokey Snellbaker.
And AD Live now brings him through turns 3 and 4. We've got a car stopping on turn number 4. And that car really has no number on it. Could be the 5B of Brad Beecher.
In any event, he has come to a stop out of turn number 4.
I believe it is the 5B of Brad Beecher. He comes to a stop right up there at the top of turn number 4. We get the camera to zoom in just a little bit. Looks like they're going to push him away, which is a bad sign if you need a push truck in this Super Sportsman division, Randy, because these cars all have the onboard starters. They have an ignition, they have the battery, the starter motor, and a clutch. So they have everything that's required to self-start these race cars.
Possibly he had a problem with his starter. The car is back under power now after a push.
As a matter of fact, when we get ready to go for the feature event, you may see the flagman stop the entire field on the front stretch and make them actually shut the engine off, then restart the car and pull away on their own power.
Okay.
Well, it looks like we're going to be at least one more lap around here. We'll break away and we'll come back with the restart of this first qualifying heat race for the Super Sportsman division here at the Silver Spring Speedway. Okay, we're back here at the sensational Silver Spring Speedway. Starter checks the field, waves the green flag. AD Live picks up right where he left off, Randy.
Okay, and here comes Larry Jackson now down on the inside of Gary Wolford. Jackson once again retakes that 2nd position. Wolford right down along the inside of the track, however. Jackson now will set his sights on AD Live as they go into turn number 3. Oh, Jackson out of shape a bit. Wolford moves back into that 2nd position.
And Gary Wolford evidently has a lot of fans here at the Silver Spring Speedway, because when Wolford moved back into 2nd, a lot of people stood up and cheered right below us here, Randy.
I'll tell you what, this is really great racing action. Jackson again moves into 2nd. So Jackson's handling problems certainly are hurting him a bit here in this first heat event.
Well, he has that 2nd spot right now from Gary Wolford as they continue to follow AD Live through turns 1 and 2. Live, your strong runner here in this first heat race.
Okay, Live with about a 7 or 8 car length lead will make it another lap as he comes down the front stretch. And this racing really is very, very close here at Silver Springs. Okay, we'll watch him now. AD Live down the backstretch at Silver Springs. Live really has not been challenged since the beginning of this event.
He's been the power in this first qualifying heat race. 2 laps to go on AD Live, your leader.
Okay, your top 5 right now is AD Live, Larry Jackson, Gary Wolford, Danny Hager, and the number 20 of Vance Yinger.
comes AD Live off turn number 4. Your leader as they come down with the white flag waving now. 1 lap to go.
Okay, one more trip around this fast 3/8 mile oval. Larry Jackson very low on the racetrack in turns 1 and 2 that time. He's trying to gather them up, but it's going to be too late here in this first heat event. Here he comes, your winner, AD Live.
The fans come to their feet. All the AD Live supporters as Live will pick up the win. Larry Jackson will finish in that second spot, followed by Gary Wolford in the number 71. Behind Wolford, we had the number 12 of Danny Hager. Right behind Hager, we had the number 20 of Vance Yenger. Then it was the 07 of Smokey Snellbaker. Bit of a surprise there on Snellbaker. Evidently, they've got some early season bugs in that car, Randy.
I noticed in warm-ups, John, they were having a bit of a handling problem, and possibly that's something they'll have to work out as the season progresses. I don't know whether that's a new car this year or not. However, anytime you start the season out fresh, it's usually takes a little time to get some of the bugs worked out.
That's for sure. Well, heat race number 1 in the record books now. As we move to heat race number 2, we'll be back with the lineup on the second heat race here at the Silver Spring Speedway. Okay, we're back in here at the Silver Spring Speedway for heat race number 2. Randy and I will go down into the starting lineup. Starting on the pole in the number 3, one of the powerhouse cars here at the Silver Spring Speedway, the number 3 of Johnny Murphy out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and alongside him, another one of the top runners here at the Silver Spring Speedway, the number 77, Howie Locke, also out of Mechanicsburg.
Row number 2 on the inside in that third starting position in car number 80 from Auburn, it's Phil Long, and alongside him in that fourth starting position in car number 22 from Dillsburg, Steve McNair.
Starting in that fifth position, third row inside in the number 71L will be Bobby Weaver out of Hallam, Pennsylvania, driving the Wolford team car today. And alongside him in the number 75 will be George Grout out of Marysville.
Okay, row number 4 on the inside in that seventh starting position in car number 11 from Middletown, Tim Leaphart. And alongside him in that eighth starting position in car number 47, Rich Eichelberger from Dillsburg.
Starting in that ninth spot, fifth row inside in the number 28 will be Keith Prutzman out of Temple, PA, and alongside him, the number 49 will be Bob Howard out of Mechanicsburg.
Okay, and bringing up the rear, the 11th and final starting position in car number 93 from Annville is Jerry Wolf. And John, that car actually resembles a Gambler 1987 sprint car. I was able to talk to Lynn Paxton a little bit about it a minute ago, and Lynn said that those guys actually just got done building that car themselves. So that isn't a Gambler, but it sure looks like one.
Well, we knew it wouldn't take long before we'd have some copycat chassis out there following the Gambler's lead on that design.
One thing's for sure.
If it's applicable,
yeah.
Maybe it's applicable here in this Super Sportsman division.
I would have to say it is. That's really a beautiful piece of machinery as it heads down the backstretch. Car number 93, those guys put in a lot of time, I'm sure.
Okay, we're just about set to go. Green flag waves, here they come. Johnny Murphy off turn number 4, your leader.
Okay, Howie Locke runs in that second position, followed by the 80 of Phil Long as they take him through turns 1 and 2.
Eichelberger up in the loose stuff now as they come off turn number 2. He hasn't really made a move. Our real battle is up front for the lead between Johnny Murphy and Howie Locke.
Okay, Howie Locke now down on the inside, and he takes the lead. Howie Locke in the lead, and that's Sheriff's Auto Parts number 77. Johnny Murphy relegated to that second position.
Bill Long runs in that third spot, followed by the number 71 of Bobby Weaver. We'll see how they pan out as they come off turn number 4. We're back with our leader, the number 77 of Howie Locke.
Okay, Howie Locke brings them down. Right there on your screen is Bobby Weaver in the number 71. Of course, we get to see Bobby Weaver quite a lot at the Port Royal Speedway in the Keystone Pretzels number 16.
Doing a great job in that number 71 here at Silver Springs this afternoon as we complete yet another lap in the second qualifying heat race. Your leader, the number 77 of Howie Locke, being followed closely by Johnny Murphy. And then on back about 7 or 8 car length, we have the number 80 of Phil Long.
Okay, we'll watch him again. Howie Locke not able to pull away from Johnny Murphy, but nevertheless he has about a 4 or 5 car length lead. We'll watch him now out of turn number 4. Now we'll pick up our leader as he comes into turn number 3. Right there he is, the number 77 of Howie Locke. Halfway in this event, 5 laps down, 5 to go.
Howie Locke really having no difficulty maintaining that lead over Johnny Murphy. Murphy has not been able to shorten it, and now we see a lot of smoke coming out of the number 3 of Murphy.
Okay, A lot of smoke coming out of that machine. Fortunately, John, this is only a 10-lap heat, so hopefully it won't create any big problem for him.
Possibly a valve cover leaking on the port side of that number 3 race car as they head down the backstretch. We'll swing it around now. Pick up your leader off turn number 4, the 77 of Howie Locke.
Okay, we'll watch him again. Still smoke coming through that driver's compartment. Number 80 now. Bill Long, right up in there. He's ready to take advantage of anything that might happen to that car number 3.
Kind of a surprise. We really haven't seen Rich Eichelberger do anything in the number 47. He started back there. He's still running basically in the back. We got 2 laps to go now. On your leader, the number 77 of Howie Locke.
Okay, and there you see Rich Eichelberger. He's a sometime sprint car racer. Out of turn number 4 now. Howie Locke with a comfortable lead. 1 lap to go.
Johnny Murphy continues to smoke while running in that second spot. Bill Long has actually moved in a little bit on Murphy, but I think he's going to run out of time, Randy.
He certainly is. Howie Locke now takes her through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the hands of our starter. There it is. Heat event number 2 goes to Howie Locke.
Finishing in that second spot will be Johnny Murphy also out of Mechanicsburg. Finishing third will be Phil Long out of Auburn, Pennsylvania. So taking the 4th spot will be our sprint car driver among the field, Bobby Weaver out of Hellam. Behind Weaver is the 47 of Rich Eichelberger. Then it was the number 11 of Tim Leapart out of Middletown. Following Leapart was the 75. That car being driven by George Group out of Marysville. And then we had, I believe, the 22 of Steve McNair, followed by the 93, which is the Gambler copycat car of Jerry Wolf, so out of Annville, PA. So the second heat now goes into the record books, and those record books will show our winner, Howie Locke, here on opening day at the Silver Spring Speedway.
And one thing about Howie Locke, I know his father Fred Locke and his son Freddie Locke. They're 2 of the nicest people I've ever met in all my years of racing go-karts. And I'll tell you what, it's good to see that family do so well because they've been involved with racing for so many, many years.
That's exactly right. And earlier there when I talked to Howie Locke, he told me he'd be maybe racing a sprint car off and on this year. Their motor deal fell through at the last minute, but Freddie will be also campaigning a Super Sportsman car here at the Silver Spring Speedway, the number 77 car. So the Locks have always been a mainstay here at the Silver Spring Speedway. They are, you know, actually from the old school, even clean back to Fred Sr.
That's very true, and they know how to do it, and they do it the hard way, and right now it's paying off for them with a second heat victory.
Okay, we'll move along now to the 3rd qualifying heat race here, the 1987 season opener at the sensational Silver Spring Speedway. Okay, we're back in here at the Silver Spring Speedway. I'm Johnny Strasser along with Randy Satzler. We'll get down over the 3rd heat lineup. And starting on the pole in the number 76 will be Dave Cordier out of Shoemakersville. And his father actually owns a Shellhammer kart track down there,
That's
Randy.
good.
I'm sure you're familiar with them.
Yes, I am.
Starting in that second spot will be the 2K of Joey Kuhn out of Mount Holly Springs.
Okay, second row on the inside, and at 3rd starting position in car number 82 is Bill Heckert from Carlisle. And alongside him in car number 19 will be Dave Callman, also from Carlisle.
Starting in that 5th spot, 3rd row inside, the number 99, one of the female drivers here at the Silver Spring Speedway, Lori Wolford. And alongside her in the number 222 will be Bob Fantasy. There is a Bill Fantasy. They're brothers, and they take turns driving this car occasionally.
Okay, and he resides in Dauphin, Pennsylvania. 4th row on the inside, and at 7th starting position. And here's a personal friend of mine from a lot of racing endeavors in past years. Car number 87 from Enola, Paul Troutman. And alongside Paul, in that 8th starting position in car number 8, is Joey Gravino from Harrisburg.
So Joey Gravino kind of following the lead of Bobby Weaver here this afternoon. We'll see how the sprint car rivals do here this afternoon. And bringing up the rear, or the next row back, will be actually the 5th row inside. At number 43 will be R.L. Brevamore out of York, tough name there. And starting 10th will be Harold Wyke out of Lebanon.
Okay, in that 11th starting position and scratch position in car number 15 is John Yinger, a brother to Vance Yinger, and he lives in Harrisburg. I do notice, John, we have an addition to the field. Car number 91 And we'll try to get a driver name on that for you a little later.
Okay, starter checking the field right now. It looks like they're going to take another lap or two around this very, I must say, in very good condition, the Silver Spring Speedway this afternoon. They've done a great job here in preparing this track for the season opener. We'll might as well just stay right in here because they're getting the indication now from the starter they'll be ready to go when they hit turns 3 and 4.
Okay, that beautiful pace car, that beautiful Pontiac now pulls to the inside of turn number 2, setting the stage for these chauffeurs. Dave Courtier, and Joey Kuhn will bring them into turn number 3.
That was an outside shot here. I'd have to say Joey Kuhn stands an excellent shot at probably winning this heat. Let's see what happens. He had a little trouble right after the warm-ups this afternoon. It's going to be the number 76, your leader, Dave Courtier.
Okay, Dave Courtier with the lead as they go through turn number 2. On the inside, Joey Kuhn now makes a bid.
Trouble here in turns number 1 and 2, Randy.
Okay.
And that'll bring out the yellow.
Okay, and that is driver Joey Gravino and also number 82 of Bill Heckert. So tough break for these two fine chauffeurs.
Well, that'll reset it up here. We'll be going back to the original starting order with possibly the exception of Gravino and the number 82 car of Heckert. And we'll be back with the restart. Okay, there's a shot of our official starter here at the Silver Spring Speedway, Clarence Speidel. And Clarence signaled the field. They'll be ready to go as they come off turn number 4 this time around, Randy.
Okay, and once again, that beautiful pace car, that Pontiac Silver Spring Speedway 1987 pace car pulls to the infield as the cars get down the backstretch once again.
Well, we'll see if Joey Kuhn can come up with a different game plan this time. Last time he had to hand the lead over to Dave Courtier off turn 4. Courtier has that inside groove and once again takes the lead as they come down the front stretch.
Okay, Dave Courtier followed by Joey Kuhn. Then we have the number 19 of Dave Kalaman as they exit turn number 2. Here comes the lead change now.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. Kuhn on the inside. Joey Kuhn evidently likes the inside groove as he's taking it away from Dave Courtier.
Okay, Kuhn is
trouble. Turn 4, maybe. Oh, it's a close one. Camera swings around now. We'll pick up your leader down the backstretch, Joey Kuhn, in the Smith Electric number 2.
Okay, now Dave Kalaman moves on the inside of Dave Courtier. There could be another position change on the speedway, and it's going to be Kalaman in that second position.
Dave Kalaman in the number 19 now grabs that second spot. Let's see if he can hang on to it. And it looks like he's going to as they head down the backstretch. Dave Courtier looking sharp here this afternoon.
Yes, he is. Very sharp. Running in that third position. That's a good spot. There we see the number 222 of Bob Fantasy go by.
We'll continue to watch turn 4 area as Joey Kuhn, your leader in the Smith Electric number 2.
Also, we have a
trouble.
Turn number 1. Turn number 1. Right there you see a wing problem actually occurring when car number 91 of Lanny Haight.
So a tough break for Lanny, one of the drivers that was just added on to the tail end of this field here this afternoon. Evidently, Lanny came in late. And,
possibly they didn't have some of the bolts tightened on it. I don't know.
Hard to say. Well, we'll be back when we get a few more details, possibly, on the condition of Lanny Hake and the status on that car. We'll be back with the restart. Well, we're back in here at the Silver Spring Speedway, the number 91 of Lanny Hake being towed into the pit area, and also, while we were away, we lost the number 19 of Dave Kalaman. So, field regrouped up in turns 3 and 4, and Clarence Speidel waves that green flag. We're back underway, Randy.
Okay, Joey Kuhn picks up right where he left off, leading this third heat event with the Super Sportsman Division. And now he pulls away with about an 8-car length lead ahead of the number 76 of Dave Courtier. Joe Gravino in car number 8 now challenges Courtier.
Gravino rides along in that third spot as they come off turn number 4. We'll see what he can do with Dave Courtier as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. The track is still in pretty good shape, Randy. They're still getting a hold of this surface.
It's very true, John. The track in absolutely immaculate condition here at Silver Springs. Here we come out of turn number 4. We're halfway in this event. And Joey Kuhn's car actually seemed to slow down just a bit there, and he was able to pick it up once again.
He could be driving a little bit conservative now, Randy. He has a good lead. We got a battle shaping up here between the 222 of Bob Fantasy as he moves in on the rear bumper of Joey Gravino now as they come down the front stretch.
Okay, we'll watch him as they head into turn number 1. one. Bob Fantasy on the inside. Gravino on the outside in his traditional rim riding style that he uses so well in the sprint car division. Fantasy once again down low as they go through turns 3 and 4. And Gravino is able to hold him off once again. And we have a car turned over in turn number 2, right?
Turn 2.
Turn 2, and there's an awful lot of smoke
associated with that car as it lays on its side. Almost looks like rubber smoke, doesn't it, Randy?
It really does, John. You know, right there's a condition that could be hazardous to any of these drivers. Most drivers, if a car gets turned over on its left side, cannot exit the right-hand side of the machine because of all that aluminum protection as a rock guard. So
that's exactly right. About the only exit they have is right up through the top of the roll cage and out the back, really, Randy, when the car's laying in that position.
That's
right
true.
Now, the smoke you see on the screen is from the fire extinguisher over there, so evidently possibly a fire associated with that accident.
Well, firefighters are on the scene, and they have actually dispensed some of their fire equipment on that machine, and hopefully everything's under control. We'll wait on a condition report on that driver. I'm not really sure what car number that is up there.
We'll get a confirmation on the the car number and the driver, and we'll be back with more racing action here from the Silver Springs Speedway. Back here at Silver Springs, we're just about set to go with the resumption of heat race number 3. We're watching Joey Kuhn bring him off turn number 4, trouble possibly up in turns 3 and 4.
It looked like Paul Trotman got very high, actually jumped the cushion a bit and got a little sideways.
Cars seem to be getting a little skittish on the racetrack. It's possible, Randy, that the track is beginning to get hard and a little bit dry now. As the dust, you can see, the cars are kicking up some dust. We got 2 laps to go on Joey Kuhn.
Okay, there you see the number 222 of Bob Fantasy as he runs in that 3rd position, getting pressure from the number 15. That car being driven by John Yinger. Yinger now tries the outside line.
Camera swings around. Our leader exits the picture, Joey Kuhn, on his final lap around this beautiful Silver Springs Speedway. We'll pick him up on the backstretch. Joey Kuhn in the Smith Electric, Century 21, number 2. He'll be looking for the checkered flag from Clarence Speidel as he comes off turn 4.
Okay, here it is. Checkered flag waves. Joey Kuhn breezes to victory in this 3rd heat event.
Finishing in that 2nd spot, the number 76 of Dave Courtier. Taking 3rd will be the 222 of Bob Fantasy. And we got a fire on the number 82 car, turn 1.
There you see the fire on the right-hand side of that machine.
That's Bill Heckert out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, possibly an oil fire. We see a lot of those.
He's still on fire, John. You can see it right there, and safety personnel right on the spot.
Very interestingly enough, he actually did a U-turn with the car, turned it around for the fire extinguisher man who was standing right on the scene. That fire was quickly extinguished, and hopefully it didn't do any irreputable damage to that race car.
It looks like he did the right thing there, John. Okay, winning the event in car number 2K was Joey Kuhn, finishing 2nd in car number 76. Dave Courtier, I believe 3rd went to the 222 of Bob Fantasy, followed by the number 15 of John Yinger, and then Joey Gravino, who had to start in the rear, was able to come back to that 5th position, and finishing 6th in car number 99 was Laurie Wolford.
Okay, those are your qualifiers out of heat race number 3, the final heat race. They will be running a last chance qualifying race, a consolation event for those people that had problems in the heat races, of which the number 82 will be possibly one of those people, Bill Heckert out of Carlisle. There you can see the number 43 car on the wrecker. That car driven by rookie R.L. Brevimar out of York, PA. So welcome to Super Sportsman Racing, R.L. Brevimar.
Okay, and hopefully every day of racing for him will not end this way.
There you can see the damage on the front of that race car. We'll be back with the last chance race here at the Silver Springs Speedway to try and get qualified for this afternoon's 25-lap feature event.
Okay, we're back in here at the Silver Springs Speedway. I'm Randy Satzler, and joining me in the booth is my brother Bill. Bill, good to be here.
Yeah, it's a great day for racing.
Okay, green flag waves in this first consolation event. We'll qualify 3 cars. We have 5 cars on the speedway right now. Smokey Snellbaker in the 07 has the lead, but on the inside is the car number 93 of Jerry Wolf.
Smokey looked real good in the warm-ups. He seemed to have a problem during the heat. Let's hope he's running a little better now.
Okay, we'll watch him now. Our leader now in car number 93 is Jerry Wolf. Smokey Snellbaker runs in that 2nd position. Then we have the 55 of Rich Myers, followed by the 49 of Bob Howard and the number 99 of Laurie Wolford. So we were able to qualify 5 cars out of each heat event We have 15 cars already in the show, and we'll take 3 cars out of these 2 consolation events. We'll wind up starting 21 cars in today's big 25-lap feature event.
Jerry Wolf's looking real strong here. Smokey seems pretty confident he's going to be able to hold on to second place. The battle looks like it's going to be back in third with a couple of rookies.
Okay, the battle now for that 3rd position. Right there on your screen is the man on the bubble, the number 55 of Rich Myers. So Myers hangs on to that final qualifying spot for today's big feature event. We'll watch him now as they head down the backstretch.
Myers and Bob Howard were both out in the rookie warm-ups earlier in the show today. It'll be really exciting to see which one of them gets to start their first feature here at Silver Springs.
That's very true. There you see those 2 drivers vying for that 3rd and final qualifying spot. Okay, we're halfway in this event now. There's your leader, the number 93, driven by Jerry Wolf. Jerry Wolf driving that car that actually looks a bit like a Gambler. However, it is a kind of a copy of a Gambler. Nevertheless, it's a very fine piece of equipment as he brings it down the front stretch now.
Yeah, it's definitely a copy of the Gambler. It seems to be handling real well right now, too.
Yeah, it's the first time out for that machine. Here you see Smokey Snellbaker from Dover, Pennsylvania. And I've seen Smokey Snellbaker race many, many, many times at various sprint car tracks around central Pennsylvania, especially at the Port Royal Speedway, where currently he continues to hold the track record there at 17.56.
That was with Lloyd's car, wasn't it, a couple years back?
That's right. Smokey Snellbaker drove that Lloyd machine, and he's been in a lot of good cars over the years. There you see our leader once again. He has a complete straightaway lead now. Jerry Wolf over your second place man, Smokey Snellbaker, right here in front of us.
Really starting to battle, warm up here.
Okay.
Bob Howard's trying like anything to get underneath that number 55 of Rich Myers, and he's only got 1 lap to go.
Okay, 1 lap to go, so we'll pick up our leader now as he heads down the backstretch. The number 93 are right there on your screen on his final lap of this consolation event. The first consolation event of the afternoon. Checker flag waves. Your winner in car number 93 is Jerry Wolf.
Smokey Snellbaker is coming out of the 4th turn now for a very comfortable second place, and it looks like Rich Myers is going to qualify. And if he is in fact the rookie, this will be his first feature event at Silver Spring Speedway on opening day. He's got to be really happy about that.
Okay, Rich Myers picks up that 3rd and final qualifying spot. Right there he is on your screen. First alternate then will be the number 49 of Bob Howard, and bringing up the rear in car number 99 is Lori Wolford. So 5 cars were actually able to start that event, and all 5 cars actually finished. Very contrary to the attrition we saw in heat event number 3.
Yeah, well, in fact, in that concert, we were supposed to have 9 starters, and we only ended up with 5.
It'll be interesting to see how many of the following cars, I guess we have 8 starters for the Constellation event number 2. We'll see how many of those guys are able to make it out onto the speedway. Okay, we'll wrap that up. Our first Constellation event is history now, and we'll be back with Constellation event number 2 in just a moment. Okay, we're back in here at the Silver Spring Speedway for Constellation event number 2. And starting on the pole will be the car number 5 of Brad Beecher. And alongside him in car number 75, we have George Group.
And then in the second row, we've got the number 1 of Howard Wyke. And on the outside, the 22 of Steve McNair.
Okay.
Very small field, Randy. Started with 8, we only got 4.
Okay, high attrition here also in Constellation event number 2. The green flag waves, so we have a real dogfight for that lead as they head through turn number 1 and 2.
That's George Group taking the lead, and working his way up on the inside is the 22 of Steve McNair.
McNair
taking over second place.
Way down on the inside of the racetrack. McNair runs second. Running third is the number 1 of Howard Wyke. He's in that final qualifying position right now, and number 5 way up on the racetrack, but he holds on.
Yeah, only one of these cars is not going to make the feature tonight, and right now it looks like it's going to be Brad Beecher unless he can get that car handled a little bit better than it is.
Okay, we'll watch that car number 5. He's running actually in that 4th position right now and having a great deal of handling problems right now. Still leading the event in car number 75 is George Group. He completes another lap as they come down the front stretch.
it's not what you'd call a comfortable lead either, with Harold White right on his tail, and all three of these drivers are pretty much nose to tail in the same straightaway.
Okay, I'll tell you what, these drivers certainly throwing the cars into the corners. Of course, that being the nature of this 3/8 mile oval, it has rather long straightaways and very tight turns.
This is not like what we were watching last night at Port Royal at all, where you can flatten it, keep it to the floor all the way around. You definitely got to use a lot of brake here.
That's right, and it takes a very good driver to get around this speedway, that's for sure.
This is a driver's track as opposed to a motor track.
Very true. Okay, the number 75 of George Group heads down the backstretch and into turn number 3. The track beginning to dry out just a bit as the dust is picking up right in the groove. Harold White goes by, and car number 1, right there he is on your screen, and he's trying to run a low line, and he's doing quite a nice job at maintaining that second position in this consolation event.
George Group looks really strong. He just sits at one spot in that turn, and it just stays there all the way around. He doesn't have to work the wheel hardly at all, and that's a sign of a car that's handling like he likes it.
That's very true. His car handling quite the way he wants it. Of course, he'd probably like to have a little bit more horsepower under that hood, that's for sure.
Just watching this, you can see him coming off that turn there, how steady the wheel is on the front tires are. Hardly any work at all, where some of these other guys the cars aren't quite set up as well, and they end up working that tire back and forth.
That's very
Waste
true.
a lot of time and actually tires you out too.
Very hard on the driver. Okay, here we come. White flag waves on your leader, the number 75 of George Group. We'll pick him up as he comes out of turn number 2. Right there he is on your screen, George Group, on his final lap of the second consolation event. It looks like he's going to make the show here in today's opening event at the Silver Spring Speedway.
He's going to have a little bit of advantage at being here with the...
Okay, we got the checker flag out, and your winner in car number 75 is George Group. Finishing second in car number 1 is Harold White, and finishing third in that final qualifying spot in car number 22 is Steve McNair.
What I was trying to say, Randy, was the track is changing right now. It's really starting to dry out, and he's got an advantage. He's the last one on it, so he pretty much knows what his car is going to have to be set up for the feature.
That's a very good point. That's true. Some of these other drivers who were out there in the first and second heat events, hopefully they're taking note of this, that the track is drying out in the corners, and they'll make the proper adjustments. So that'll complete all the qualifying events for today here at the Silver Spring Speedway. We have one big race left, and that's the 25-lap feature for the Super Sportsman Division. And we'll be back with that event here at the Silver Spring Speedway.
Okay, we're back in here at the Silver Spring Speedway. I'm Johnny Strasser, along with Randy Satzler. We're just about set to go with the feature event of the afternoon here, this 1987 season opener at the Silver Spring Speedway. We'll get down over that lineup right now, starting on the poles, the 222 of Bob Fantasy out of Dolphin, PA, and alongside him is the number 76 of Dave Cordier out of Shoemakersville.
Okay, row number 2 is made up of the number 77 of Howie Locke from Mechanicsburg, and alongside him in the number 69 is Larry Jackson from Carlisle.
Making up row number 3 in that fifth starting spot. In the number 3 will be Johnny Murphy out of Mechanicsburg, and alongside him will be the number 12 of Danny Hager out of Greencastle.
Row number 4 on the inside, and car number 80 is Phil Long from Auburn, and alongside him in car number 81 is A.D. Dwight Lyde from Hummelstown.
In the fifth row, inside, ninth starting spots, the 2K, the Smith Electric car of Joey Kuhn out of Mount Holly Springs, and alongside him is the 71 of Bobby Weaver.
Okay, next row is made up of the 15 of John Yinger and his brother, number 20, Vance Yinger.
Making up the seventh row, inside, 13 starting spots, the 47 of Rich Eichelberger out of Dillsburg, and alongside him is Joey Gravino out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Next row on the inside, number 71, Gary Wolford, and alongside him in the 93 is Jerry Wolf.
Making up the ninth row, 17th spot, inside, and the number 75 will be George Graup out of Marysville, and alongside him in the number 07, the Bill Tanger Sprinter, is Smokey Snellbaker out of Dover.
Next row on the inside, in car number 1 is Harold White, and alongside him in car number 55 is Rich Myers.
And bringing up the rear of the field this afternoon at the season opener in the number 22 will be Steve McNair out of Dillsburg, PA. Randy, we're just about set to go. Green flag racing.
Here we come out of turn number 4. Your leader will be the number 222. Now he gets a challenge from Howie Locke on the inside.
Everybody streaks into turns 1 and 2 now. It's an Oklahoma land rush, Randy, as they head off turn number 2 and down the backstretch.
Howie Locke on the inside takes the lead going into turn number 3, and he will lead the first lap here in the 1987 season at Silver Springs.
Howie Locke in the number 77, your leader as they come off turn number 2 and down the backstretch now. Bob Fantasy in the number 222 car is running in that second spot, followed by Larry Jackson in the number 69, and here comes Johnny Murphy.
Okay, Johnny Murphy on the outside will try to make a move, but Larry Jackson on the inside now makes a challenge to the number 222 of Bob Fantasy. Johnny Murphy now, right there on the inside, takes over that third position, and he now sets his sights on the 222.
And Smokey Snellbaker has retired to the pit area in the Bill Tanger number 07. Snellbaker out of competition here.
Okay, we're watching them now as they come out of turn number 4. A lot of racing action occurring here at Silver Springs. Howie Locke continues to lead. Bob Fantasy right behind him. You'll see him now on your screen. There it is, Howie Locke now getting a challenge from Fantasy.
Fantasy on the inside, Howie Locke on the outside. Howie Locke will maintain the lead in the turn number 1.
Okay, Fantasy way down.
Oh, turn 1. Turn 1.
Turn number 1, right there you see it, the number 69 of Larry Jackson right up against the fence. Then everybody keeps it under control. We'll swing it back here out of 4. We still have this great battle for the lead. Howie Locke with a slim advantage over Bob Fantasy as they head into turn number 1.
Fantasy down on the inside. Howie Locke continues to stay with that high cushion, Randy, as they head down the backstretch.
Okay, Howie Locke says, I'm going to run the high groove. You're going to have to get me on the inside here. Here he comes out of turn number 4. Howie Locke leads another lap. Bob Fantasy runs second. Johnny Murphy third. Then it's the number 2K of Joey Kuhn. And then we have the number 47. That car being driven by Rich Eichelberger.
Camera swings around now. Turn number 4. Fantasy up high. And he's actually lost some more ground. He's actually lost ground to your leader, Howie Locke.
Okay, there you see it, a tremendous battle here at Silver Spring Speedway. And this is the kind of racing action these fans are used to each and every Saturday night throughout the racing season. Here we come, Bob Fantasy now dogs the number 77 of Howie Locke.
Howie Locke continues to lead. Bob Fantasy down the backstretch. Now we're seeing the battle on your screen between Bob Fantasy and Johnny Murphy. Murphy to the outside now, Randy.
Okay, Johnny Murphy right up on the cushion. And he takes over that second position. Bob Fantasy with a problem. Fantasy ducks to the inside of the racetrack. I think that's going to be it for him today, John.
It's all over for Bob Fantasy in the number 222. But the race continues with Howie Locke, your leader, off turn number 4.
Okay, turn number 4, Howie Locke and Johnny Murphy right there in second position. There you see Locke as he heads into turn number 1. Bob Fantasy has gone to the pit area on turn number 2. Tough break for him. He's done for the day. Now, in the number 47, Rich Eichelberger has moved into that third position. We'll stay right here with your leaders, however.
Joey Kuhn following the number 47 of Eichelberger off turn number 4. Camera is down in turns 1 and 2 now with your battle that continues between our leader, Howie Locke, and here comes Johnny Murphy on the inside, Randy.
Okay, Johnny Murphy takes over the lead for the first time in this feature event. Howie Locke now ducks to the inside. Can he get the lead back? No, it's going to be Johnny Murphy.
Steve McNair in the number 22 following a lap down now to your leaders as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. Murphy with the lead. Howie Locke runs second. Then we got to go back about 10 or 12 car lengths till we pick up the number 47 of Rich Eichelberger. He runs third on the speedway. And Joey Kuhn runs in that 4th spot.
Okay, running 5th is the number 71 of Bobby Weaver, and that's your top 5 at the moment. We're watching Joey Kuhn, and there's Bobby Weaver right now as he runs a low groove here at the Silver Spring Speedway. Johnny Murphy continues to lead his event. There he is on your screen. That beautiful, immaculate car number 3 completes another lap. Right there you can see both the leader and the second place car on your screen as we zoom in now on Johnny Murphy, your leader, as he encounters more lap traffic, Randy. Okay, this is going to be the true test for Murphy. Hopefully he'll be able to get on through without having any problems, but one thing's for sure, Howie Locke will be right there if Murphy should happen to slip up. A good shot of Johnny Murphy, your leader, off turn number 4 now as he works his way through the lap traffic and down the front stretch. Howie Locke continues to run in that second spot. Eichelberger third, Joey Kuhn runs 4th. Then it's Bobby Weaver in the number 71, followed by the number 80 of Bill Long. Okay, Johnny Murphy continues to rim ride here at the Silver Spring Speedway as he comes down the front stretch once again, completing another lap. Howie Locke runs in that second position. Okay, now Locke has an opportunity as Johnny Murphy got a little bit out of shape in turns 1 and 2. Howie Locke right there once again, John. This is going to be very interesting.
Freddie Locke is, or rather Howie Locke is certainly not out of this race, Randy.
He certainly isn't. We're watching Johnny Murphy now as he tries to put a lock on the number 20 of Vance Schinger, and he just about does it now as they head down the backstretch. And Dave Courtier, one of the top runners in the heat events now, is just about ready to be lapped. Tough break for him. Apparently he's having some kind of a car problem.
Evidently, Randy, as we continue to watch our 2 leaders here, they have actually pulled away from the number 47 now, Rich Eichelberger, who rides in that 3rd spot. Running 4th is still Joey Kuhn in the Smith Electric number 2.
Okay, we get the indication that there's just 5 laps to go in this event. 5 laps on your leader. And this race may just about go straight through, John.
We continue to watch the action as Rich Eichelberger there heading down the back stretch in that 5th position. They got the 3rd position. Eichelberger runs 3rd. Joey Kuhn runs in that 4th spot.
And there's a battle for the lead once again. Howie Locke down on the inside of Johnny Murphy. Howie Locke just momentarily had that lead. Murphy back in front. We're in the last 3 laps of this event.
It's going to come right down to the wire, Randy, as they come off turn number 4. They got 3 laps to go. 3 laps on your leader, Johnny Murphy.
Okay, Johnny Murphy and Howie Locke. What a duel between these 2 great racing veterans here at the Silver Spring Speedway.
I'll be picking up the 2 laps to go. Sign off the starter this time. Down the front stretch they come. They're still nearly side by side. 2 laps to go.
Okay, 2 more trips around this historic speedway, and this race will be history. Howie Locke all over the rear bumper of the number 3, driven here by Johnny Murphy.
Here they come now off turn number 4. It's anybody's race, Randy, as they come down for the white flag lap.
Okay, this is it. Final lap around this speedway. Johnny Murphy, only half a lap away from victory here in the opening race of the 1987 racing season. Now he's messed up by a lap car. Johnny Murphy up on top. Everybody on their feet. We're going to call it. It's Johnny Murphy.
Murphy about a car length over your 2nd place finisher, Howie Locke, here at the Silver Spring Speedway.
Okay, finishing 3rd in number 47 is Rich Eichelberger. 4th place goes to the 2K of Joey Kuhn, and 5th place goes to the number 71 of Bobby Weaver. What a race.
What a race here at the Silver Spring Speedway for the 1987 season opener. It was really a great job turned in here by Johnny Murphy. He gained the lead from the number 77 of Howie Locke, and Locke did not give it up, Randy. He was in there the whole way.
No, he did not. He's a great competitor, and on that last corner, Joey Gravina was riding right up in the groove, and it almost cost Johnny Murphy the race. However, Murphy was able to pinch off just a little bit coming down the straightaway, and he was able to come up with a big feature win here in the 1987 opening feature at the Silver Spring Speedway.
Only one small detail left, and that's to go across those scales at the legal limit, Randy. Right there you can see Joey Kuhn is at the scales station right now. Howie Locke will be coming to the scales along with Johnny Murphy, your winner in today's 1987 season opener here at the Silver Spring Speedway. We'll be going down trackside for the post-race interview with racetrack promoter Alan Kreitzer, and he'll be joined, of course, with the winner, Johnny Murphy, in Victory Lane here at Silver Springs. What a great afternoon of super sportsman racing we've seen here today, Randy. Okay, we'll be back following the post-race interview with today's winner, Johnny Murphy, and Speedway owner and promoter Alan Kreitzer. Okay, we're back here in the booth here at the Silver Spring Speedway. I'm Johnny Strasser along with Randy Sansler and Billy Sansler. And a very good race put down here by Johnny Murphy this afternoon in the 1987 season opener, Randy.
And in fine fashion, too, John, he was able to set a new 25-lap record since that race went nonstop. The record now stands at 7 minutes, 27.1 seconds. So congratulations to Johnny Murphy.
One thing's for sure, I think the race fans this afternoon certainly got their money's worth. They'll be back here each and every Saturday night for their favorite Saturday night pastime, the Super Sportsman. These fans love this speedway, Randy.
That's true, and I'll be looking forward to seeing these cars at the Port Royal Speedway this year. I believe they'll be up there at least 2 times. So
two engagements at Port Royal. They'll be at Williams Grove. They run a a tour with these cars at the bigger tracks, Williams Grove, Port Royal, Susquehanna Speedway, and it's the Stroh's Tour. But this is their home base, and I'm sure that the fans here at Silver Springs are certainly in for a lot of, hard-hitting super sportsman action this summer. Billy Satzler joining us here in the tower this afternoon, helping with a lot of the lineups and covering some of the lap by lap with Randy in the consolation events this afternoon. Really want to thank you for coming down here and being part of the team this afternoon.
John, I'm really looking forward to an exciting season with Strasser Video. And the race was a very exciting race, and you could tell that these sportsmen are well suited for this track.
That's for sure. Well, for the entire Strasser Motorsports Video team, I'm Johnny Strasser for Randy Satzler, Billy Satzler, and our 2 camera people today, Roger Freed and Patty Strasser. We're saying so long from the Silver Springs Speedway.